Hello, this is David Sneathen with Alpha Omega Revelation, and I'm reading The Cost of Discipleship by Dietrich Bonhoeffer. So I had begun this book back in January, and for whatever reason, I just kind of got, overwhelmed with all the other things that I was doing, so I stopped reading through it. I had gotten through 9 chapters, and so I'm going to start chapter 10 now. And I found I actually didn't even post the last recording that I did. So I didn't post chapter 9. So I will post chapter 9, and then I will post chapter 10 with it probably tonight. I'll try to do that tonight or tomorrow. Today is May the 1st. So I am setting out to finish this book and then follow it up with probably either Athanasius or Augustine, one of those, to continue this series of important works of the Christian church. So let me go ahead and get started. This is chapter 10, which is called Woman, and let me begin. Ye have heard that it was said, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that every one that looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And if thy right eye causeth thee to stumble, pluck it out, and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body be cast into hell. And if thy right hand causeth thee to stumble, cut it off, and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not thy whole body to go into hell. It was said also, Whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that every one that putteth away his wife, saveth for the cause of fornication, maketh her an adulteress. And whoever shall marry her when she is put away, committeth adultery. Matthew 5:27 through 32. Okay. Adherence to Jesus allows no free rein to desire unless it be accompanied by love. To follow Jesus means self-renunciation and absolute adherence to him, and therefore a will dominated by lust can never be allowed to do what it likes. Even momentary desire is a barrier to the following of Jesus and brings the whole body into hell, making us sell our heavenly birthright for a mess of pottage, and showing that we lack faith in him who will reward mortification with joy and hundredfold. Instead of trusting to the unseen, we prefer the tangible fruits of desire, and so we fall from the path of discipleship and lose touch with Jesus. Lust is impure because it is unbelief, and therefore it is to be shunned. No sacrifice is too great if it enables us to conquer a lust which cuts us off from Jesus. Both eye and hand are less than Christ, and when they are used as the instruments of lust and hinder the whole body from the purity of discipleship, they must be sacrificed for the sake of him. The gains of lust are trivial compared with the loss it brings. You forfeit your body eternally for the momentary pleasure of eye or hand. When you have made your eye the instrument of impurity, you cannot see God with it. Surely at this point we must make up our minds once and for all whether Jesus means his precepts to be taken literally or only figuratively, for here it is a matter of life or death. But the question is answered by the reaction of the disciples. Our natural inclination is to avoid a definite decision over this apparently crucial question, but the question is itself both wrong and wicked, and it does not admit of an answer. If we decided not to take it literally, we should be evading the seriousness of the commandment. And if, on the other hand, we decided it was to be taken literally, we should at once reveal the absurdity of the Christian position and thereby invalidate the commandment. The fact that we receive no answer to the question only makes the commandment even more inescapable. We cannot evade the issue either way. We are placed in a position where there is no alternative but to obey. Jesus does not impose intolerable restrictions on his disciples. He does not forbid them to look at anything, but bids them look on him. If they do that, he knows that their gaze will always be pure, even when they look upon a woman. So far from imposing on them an intolerable yoke of legalism, he succors them with the grace of the gospel. Jesus does not enjoin his disciples to marry, but he does sanctify marriage according to the law by affirming its indissolubility and by prohibiting the innocent party from remarrying when the guilty partner has broken the marriage by adultery. This prohibition liberates marriage from selfish, evil desire and consecrates it to the service of love, which is possible only in a life of discipleship. Jesus does not deprecate the body and its natural instincts, but he does condemn the unbelief which is so often latent in its desires. So far, then, from abolishing marriage, he sets it on a firmer basis and sanctifies it through faith. The disciples' exclusive adherence to Christ therefore extends even to his married life. Christian marriage is marked by discipline and self-denial. Christ is the Lord even of marriage. There is, of course, a difference between the Christian and the bourgeois conception of marriage, but the Christianity does not therefore deprecate marriage, it sanctifies it. It would appear that by affirming the dissolubility of marriage, Jesus contradicts the law of the Old Testament, but there is another passage, Matthew 19:8, which shows that in fact he is at one with the law of Moses. There he says that divorce was permitted to the Israelites for your hardness of heart. In other words, it was to preserve them from worse excesses. The intention of the Old Testament law is the same as that of Jesus, to uphold the purity of marriage and to see that it is exercised in faith in God. But purity or chastity is safeguarded amongst those who follow Jesus and share his life. Being concerned exclusively with the perfect purity, that is to say, the chastity of his disciples, Jesus also approves of absolute celibacy for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. But he lays down no definite program for his disciples, whether of celibacy or of marriage, only he delivers them from the perils of porneia, i.e. any sexual irregularity outside or inside of the married life. Such irregularity is a sin not only against our own bodies, but against the body of Christ. 1 Corinthians 6:13 through 15. Even our bodies belong to Christ and have their part in the life of discipleship, for they are members of his body. Jesus, the Son of God, bore a human body, and since we enjoy fellowship with that body, fornication is a sin against Christ's own body. The body of Jesus was crucified. St. Paul, speaking of those who belong to Christ, says that they have been crucified, or they have crucified their body with its affections and lusts. Galatians 5:24. Here we have another instance of an Old Testament law finding its truest fulfillment in the crucified body of Jesus Christ. As they contemplate this body which was given for them, and as they share its life, the disciples receive strength for the chastity which Jesus requires. And that is the end of chapter 10. So we'll read chapter 11 next time, and hopefully we are able to get these going more regularly as we were intended to originally. And God bless you. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.